Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we've done our navigation bar, you might think it's time for us to do this middle section here, but we can't actually do that until we have content in our database. That's because this section here we use for displaying songs, displaying albums, but we don't actually have any in our system yet. So we're going to start working towards that, but what we need to do first is actually get the table set up, because we can't actually store music unless we have tables to hold the information. So go to localhost /php myadmin like that. This is our database system, or the UI for our database system I should say, and then go to our table. We haven't actually done much with this, we only created the users table so far, so go to your table, okay, and we're going to create a new table, but before we do that we need to understand the structure of the tables we're going to create. So we're going to create 4 tables first, and I actually have the diagrams right here in Excel. So we're going to have a songs table, we're going to have an artist table, a genres table, and an albums table. And before creating a table, you need to ask yourself what kind of data it's going to hold. So we know that each song is going to have an ID, or every table has an ID column, that's just best practice. So no matter what the table is going to be, we always want to add an ID column, which is a unique identifier that we can use to access each record. If you're not familiar with what that means, bear with me, it will make sense as we start using these. So yeah, every song is going to have a title, every song is going to have an artist, an album, a genre, duration, path, album order, and plays. So the title is just obviously the name of the song. The artist is going to be whichever artist it was that made the song. But notice how we're not storing a name in here. We're not storing like Mickey Mouse as the artist name. We're storing a number. And what that number is for is because this number is going to be used to go and retrieve the artist name, and this number corresponds to the ID in the artist table. So we have an artist table here, and number 2 means that we'll go and find the artist with the ID of 2. So in this case we would go and take the artist with the ID of 2, which happens to be Smiley. Okay, that's the name of the artist. So we know that the artist of this song is Smiley, and the same with album. So with this, we go and find the album with the ID of 2. So go to the albums table, find the ID 2, and then we know the title of the album is Purple Strain. Genre, same thing, it's an integer, so we go to the genres table and find the genre with the ID of 3, which happens to be a pop. Duration is just going to be a string that we use for the duration of the song. Path is going to be the path we use to access that song, because it's worth noting that we won't actually be storing the song itself in the database table. Okay, so the songs table won't actually hold any music. All it does is hold the information about the music. So when we get the songs, we first get the path from the database table, and then we use this path to go and retrieve the song. So we're going to have a folder. So we're going to have a folder called music, which is inside of the assets folder. And then the happy birthday MP3 file is going to be inside that folder. So we just use whatever's in this column as a way to access that song. We're going to have an album order, which happens to be which order on the album it's going to be in. Okay, so you know when you view an album, the songs appear in a certain order. Okay, and we want to be able to keep that order, so we give each song an order number, which is used for displaying the songs in the order they were supposed to be displayed in. Plays, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's just the number of plays our songs had. And yeah, so that's it really. So we have our artist table with an ID, and all the artist table has is a name. All the genres table has is a name as well as ID, of course. And the albums has the ID, has a title, which is the title of the album. The artist, which again, same as with the songs table, we use this number here to go and find the artist, in this case with the ID of 3. Which happens to be Mickey Mouse. So we know the artist of this album is Mickey Mouse. Genre, 3, we're going to get this, which is pop. So we know this album has a genre of pop. And then, same thing as with the path, the artwork path is used to go and retrieve that image. Because again, this albums table is not going to hold any images. And the reason we're using numbers here instead of actually storing, instead of storing Mickey Mouse in here as just text, the reason we're storing numbers is because if this artist changes name for some reason, maybe they get married, maybe they just change the name of their group or something, and they change it to Mickey, maybe change it to Mickey Duck, like that, that's his new name, we're going to have to go and find every single song and every single album that uses this and go and make the same change as well. Okay, so by storing a number in here, it just stores a reference to this file here. So everything that uses this artist will point to this record in the artist table. Okay, and then if this person changes his name, like that, we only have to change it in one place, and every single thing that points to this will use the newly updated name. Okay, so that's why we're using numbers instead of just string values in here. So that's a brief overview of our table structure. So like I said before, if you don't understand this, or maybe it's your first time doing MySQL tables, know that it will make a lot more sense to you when we start actually using this. Okay, so even if it doesn't make 100% sense to you at the moment, follow along, just go with it. It will become clearer as we go. But also know that I'm here to answer questions if you have any. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, just let me know and I'll get back to you.